Do you know the difference between human beings and human doings? Most of my life, I'm a human doing. Do. It's exhausting, it's stressful, it's overwhelming. But there's joy. There's joy to be found when you discover how to be. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Check it out. Hi, I'm Brett R. Williams, your favorite shrink. Welcome back to another episode of My 5 Minds. This is where we're learning how to be better, do better, and feel better by learning how to understand the systems, that's systems with a P, understand the systems that are going on in your brain. We're learning a new neuropsychology called systemology. Today, I want to talk about the first consideration in systems. And that first consideration is this radical belief, this radical idea that you're not broken, that there is nothing wrong with you. And the way we're going to look at that and play with that consideration today is we're going to talk about a story of Jackie. Jackie is kind of like your quintessential housewife. You know, 3 kids, taking care of life, doing what we all do, and feeling overwhelmed by it. Kind of feeling just depleted because of it. And what's going on with Jackie is living a life of what I call human doing. And she doesn't know or understand what it is to be a human being. Now let me explain a little bit what that looks like and how that runs. So Jackie, as you can imagine, go. All day long. She's going, and she's always doing. For her family, and for her friends, and for her church, it's do all day long. And that should be a nice thing, right? That should be a good thing. That means you're not selfish. That means that you're a caring person if you're doing all day long. But the problem has been, it depletes her. It leaves her feeling exhausted. And her self-worth, instead of going up, which you would think it should, you know, she's making deposits and doing all these good things, it goes down. And she doesn't feel good about herself at the end of the day. Ah, I'm a good person. Look at all the amazing things I did for everybody. No, right? Can you imagine saying that to yourself? No. Well, she didn't say that to herself either. Instead, she'd go to bed, I'm exhausted. I can't do this. This is so much work. But what do you do? Turn off life? What do you do? Stop living? No. She has to keep going. So she comes into therapy and we begin to talk about this lifestyle that she has, this never-ending rat wheel that she's on, where she just go. And I ask her the very simple question, what drives all that? She kind of looks at me curious, like, what do you mean? Well, I'm just curious. What drives all that? Everything we do has drivers to it. What drives you? What drives me? What drives her? She never thought about it. Which, in fact, as we first started talking about it, she gave all the obvious answers, all the simple answers of, well, it's just what you have to do. You know, my kids need what they need, and my husband needs what he needs, and it's just running a household is what people have to do. And the interesting psychology of what she's saying is that life is just hard. That life is just do. And this is just what we have to do to survive. That's actually not the point at all. There's other people out there on the planet who do and live and are happy, who feel peace, who at the end of the day feel fulfilled, that feel good, not depleted. And the difference is drivers. What's driving her? Well, as we talk about it, as we discuss it, and it takes a little bit of exploring, what we find is that she is a human doing. What makes human doings is that their value, their worth, their esteem, their kudos comes from what they do. Because I do good things, I am then allowed to feel good. Because I work so hard or because I take care of other people, I have worth. And that is where my worth comes from. Does that sound familiar? Do you do that? Now that may sound so familiar that you're probably maybe even thinking, yeah, is there another answer? Is there another way? And yes, it's called human beings. Human beings have value, have worth, have esteem because they are. Not because they do, not because they produce, but because they are. And producing is icing on the cake. Producing is beautiful. Producing is a nice plus. It's a nice addition, but it's not essential. I have worth and value because I'm alive, not because I'm producing. Now let me talk a little bit about how that makes a difference. See, with our story, every time she would do something, there was anxiety involved because anxiety was the driver. Fear of not being worthy, fearing of not being enough. And so she would have friends over for dinner and she would worry. She would worry if the house was clean enough. She would worry if the meal was right. As she's cooking, everything is anxiety. Does that taste right? Does that taste right? Is that going to be good enough? She wants to make sure everything looks good. She wants to make sure everything goes perfectly. Why? Because that's where her worth comes from. Something goes wrong, something doesn't taste good, or the house looks like a mess, then that reflects on her, and her worth and value decrease because she's a doer. Now, what would it look like to be the opposite of that? What would it look like to be a human being? Well, when you're a human being, your worth doesn't change. Who you are doesn't come from what you do. And so things can go well and things can go bad. And that's okay. I mean, that's kind of like life. That's kind of what happens. But the value of who you are never changes. And so what happens is the pressure to make sure everything's good and make sure everything's right and make sure you do everything you can goes away. And instead, your driver for getting things done is love. Why do I take care of my kids? Because I love my kids. Why do I want to have a party for my friends? Because I love my friends. Why do I want to go to work? Because I love my work. Because I love what I do. I enjoy life. Everything is joyful. Because instead of trying to get value, I bring value. I bring worth to whatever I do. And I can tell you, as I watched her begin to absorb this, begin to take this idea and own it, she could begin to feel relaxed, feel peaceful, feel happy. Not because she was doing more. And I don't even know if the volume of what she did really changed. I'm actually going to guess that the volume of stuff she did was even better. But that wasn't the point. Instead of trying to get worth from everything she did, that creates collapse. She started giving worth. to everything she did. Bringing love, bringing kindness, bringing joy to everything she did. That started to benefit her life and started to benefit those around her, because the people around her could feel it and they felt happier because she was bringing happiness. Homework for you, right? I want you to sit down and think this whole week. I want you to sit down and think, what are you? What is your approach to life? Do you get value from what's happening around you? So when everything works out, you're semi-okay? And then when everything doesn't work out, you're trashed? Or do you bring value to everything you do? Are you a human being? You have value just because you are. Try it. First look at your drivers and then try shifting your drivers to bringing value, not getting value. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to learn more, subscribe. I'm Brett R. Williams, your favorite shrink. And thanks again for watching My 5 Minds. Talk to you soon.